Hello everyone and welcome back to another Technet video. Today we're going to be looking at chroma keying in After Effects. Hopefully by now you guys have got some green screen footage that you're ready to chroma key. If you haven't, check out our previous video on green screening. We cover how to light it properly, how to film it correctly, and hopefully you can use that footage to chroma key in this tutorial. So let's jump into After Effects. I'm just going to load up the window here. Once you first start After Effects, you'll come up with this Getting Started screen. Today we're just going to be starting a new project, so that's all we need to hit. And we're going to be starting a new composition. So we're going to be going to New Comp. I'm just going to be calling it Chroma Key. Nice and simple. And the duration is completely up to you. I'm going to go with I'm going to go 40 seconds just to give myself a little bit of headway. Check how long your clip is and just allow a bit more time in case you need to extend the clip or shorten it, completely up to you. And the frame rate we normally go to 25 frames per second. Alright, so that all looks good to me. Don't worry about the background color because we'll be changing that in just a moment. Hit OK. If you have capital locks enabled, you may see this error come up, refresh display. Just press capital locks again and that will take that off. So the very first thing I want to do is, rather than having a black background here, I want it to be transparent, and that's very easily done. We just click this little checkerboard box tool here. It says toggle transparency grid. If I click that, it'll give you your transparency grid, a bit like you see in Photoshop. And the next thing I want to do now is import my footage. So you can load that off your SD card, your USB, or from our server. I'm going to be using one from our server, so let me just grab that. You can also use this footage, it's free for anyone to use. So on the media film server, student resources, editing exercises, and we have green screen here. Here we go, Bale, green screen, perfect. So I'm just going to double click on that. It may take a few seconds to import, that's not a problem. Now I've got my footage, I'm going to drag it down onto my timeline. Now the timeline on After Effects is slightly different to Premiere's, but you can still see we've got our timeline bar here at the bottom, and I've got my footage and its properties over here. So I've got the footage in the middle of the screen, and as you can see as we filmed it, the green screen itself doesn't take up the whole screen, and that is absolutely fine. We want to chroma key at least amount as possible, and I'll show you how we do that in this footage. So at the moment, Bale's technically off screen here. He's not actually starting to talk until he pops his hand into the frame here, and then he walks into the front of the screen and starts talking to you guys. So the bit I'm looking for here is as soon as he sticks his arm into the frame. Don't worry too much about, we allowed a bit of extra room here. It's just mainly this bit I'm looking for. So to start cropping this down, all I'm going to do is right click on this footage. I'm going to go to mask and new mask, and you'll see it'll create this sort of like yellow box around the video. What I'm going to do is click on the pen tool, and I'm just going to add a few points around that box just to allow me to manipulate it a little bit more. There we go. So, like I said before, the main bit we're trying to green screen is on this area here. So I can start cropping out whatever bits I don't need. So I'm just going to start off with a rough crop around the edges, work my way around like this, and then we can tune it up a little bit more in just a moment. This one we're going to bring in just off the side because we don't want the LED light in frame. Again, we're going to crop it off there, and we're just going to get rid of that top corner as well. Alright, so if I play this through,
pause.
I can see Bale step into the frame. And we've got all this left over, so I know, okay, well, that's good news for me. It means I can chroma key less stuff, so I'm going to keep bringing in that mask as much as possible. There we go, bring it down a little bit more, just above his head, just allow a little bit of room in case he bobs up and down or anything. A little bit of shadow there we can probably take out as well. Perfect. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. What you should do is just run through your video very quickly. Just make sure none of their limbs or movements or anything go outside that little window you've created. Otherwise, it will chop them off. But from doing this video previously, I know that Bale stands almost exactly in the same place because we put a little T marker down on the floor, which he knows not to move off. So over here, we're going to head over to Effects and Presets. We're going to click that button. Now, this does sometimes take a little while to load. Sometimes it can take 10 seconds. Sometimes it takes a minute. It really depends on how your computer is feeling. Once it does load up, we're going to be looking for an effect called Keylight. So if you go on there, all one word, Keylight 1.2 is the effect we're going to go for. And you just drag that onto your clip. It should automatically come up with the effects controls in this box over here. So Keylight is the chroma key effects we're going to use to remove that green screen. The first thing we're going to do is over here it says screen color. We're going to select the little eyedropper tool and select on the green background. As you can see, we've got quite a nice uniform green on that background, so it should remove most of it in one go. So I'm going to click on that screen, and there we go. Alright, so all the green's gone. You can see there's still some residual shadow, and I'll show you just how to remove that in just a second. So to do that, we go down to the screen matte, and you've got the clip black property. All you need to do is increase this slightly, and you'll see now that that green is completely gone. There is still a little bit of an edge there, I can see. So what I'm going to do is just go back into my mask and just bring that in a little bit more. That's just from the LED light. There we go. That looks a bit cleaner now. And then if I play through the clip again, what we did in the actual video is when Bale's arm comes up here, this clip was actually against the side of the video like this, so you couldn't really tell. Pauses the video, steps in, talks through his little bit, and then wanders out at the end. But as you can see, this is now a transparent background, so you can put whatever video clip you wanted to behind that. You could put him on the Bahamas, you could put him in the Technet video, you know, anywhere you wanted to. That is completely up to you. So give it a little go, try and import some footage maybe of your own, or even just a picture off Google, and stick it behind and see how it looks. What you can mainly see on this one is that we don't have much of a green outline around Bale. That's because he was about 5 steps in front of the green screen. That's really, really important. You don't want the green screen reflecting onto your subject, otherwise you're going to have to start looking at things like clip rollback to help remove some of that green light fuzziness on the edges, and it does reduce the quality of your Chroma Key. So this was a really good example to show how clean it came out for Chroma Key. So now that we've got our Chroma Keyed footage, we want to get it into Premiere Pro. So what you can do is just save this file, go into Premiere Pro, and just import this After Effects file, and it'll ask you for the composition. So you want to look for the one that says Chroma Key, and when you import that into Premiere, it will look exactly like this, but the background will be black because you can put whatever you want to behind it. If you ever want to make some adjustments, you can always go back into this file, make the adjustments and hit save, and it will automatically update them into Premiere Pro, which is a fantastic feature that we use all the time. Thank you for watching our video on chroma keying. If you have any questions about green screening or chroma keying, feel free to pop by and ask us. We're always available in the edit suite. Stay tuned for more Technet videos coming your way soon.